Good evening. This is the regular meeting of the Planning and Development Committee. We do have a quorum. And may I get a motion for the approval of the minutes of the July 13th meeting?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Are there any additions, corrections, deletions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. And items for consideration. Alderman Wilson, will you take P1?
Item P1 is Resolution 74-R15, amending the development and affordable housing agreement with Evanston Township High School and community partners for the development of 1941 Jackson Avenue as affordable housing. The city staff is recommending adoption of the resolution to amend the development and affordable housing agreement between the high school, community partners for affordable housing, and the city. The agreement outlines the terms between the three parties regarding the development of 1941 Jackson Avenue as affordable housing and amends the eligible income of the household purchasing the property from not to exceed 60% AMI to not to exceed 120% of the AMI. And this is for action.
Moved and second. Are there any questions? Any? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. I forgot to ask, is there anyone who wanted to speak on planning and development? If so, just let us know. We didn't have anyone to sign in for this particular committee. Okay. All right, Alderman Fisk, P2.
P2 is Ordinance 98-015, amending the zoning map to rezone 1402 to 1408 Brown Avenue from R2 to the R4 district. The Plan Commission and staff recommend adoption of Ordinance 98-015, amending the zoning map to rezone the property commonly known as 1402 to 1408 Brown Avenue from R2 Single Family Residential to R4 General Residential, and it's for introduction.
It's been moved and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, Alderman Grover?
I move for introduction of Ordinance 106-015, granting a special use for a Type 2 restaurant called Red Robin Burger Works to be located at 1700 Maple Avenue. This comes to us with the recommendation of the ZBA and city staff.
Is there a second? It's been moved and second. Alderman Fisk, you?
I'm sorry, I didn't turn my light
That's
on.
all right, actually.
Is there anyone from the company here tonight? Hi. Would you like to come up and introduce yourselves? I'm curious about how many burger restaurants we have.
Hi, my name's Ariel DeLeo. I'm with Chipman Design. We're the architects for Red Robin.
My name is Stephanie Griffiths. I'm the Regional Operations Manager for Red Robin.
You want to tell us a little bit about Red Robin? Maybe is that what you want, Alderman Fisk?
Yes, and I'd also like to hear from Mr. Munzer about, I think
Okay.
I asked the question some time ago about burger restaurants. Is this mainly carry-out or dine-in?
Yeah, most of it is going to be carry-out, so it's a quick service version of the Big Red Robins, which is a smaller menu, more fast pace, get a burger in 5 minutes or less with the same great quality and great service. It's pretty much.
Alderman Mark Munzer, Director of Community Development. We'd be more than happy to, define some parameters as to, if you were curious as to this type of restaurant and how many there are. As you know, these are almost always type 2 restaurants because of their being carry out in nature. So they're always going to require a special use and city council approval.
And I'm just assuming that you've looked at your competition and you feel comfortable with your competition? And
Absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. Alderman Grover?
This will be located across from the theater building on Maple Street, so right at Maple and Church.
Yes.
Am I right?
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. P4, Ordinance 104-0-15, amending the city code to modify window sign regulations. The Sign Review and Appeal Board and staff recommends adoption of Ordinance 104- 0-15, which amends the sign ordinance for window signs. The proposed amendments are the results of complaints to the city regarding signage installed on large vertical windows that span several floors without limitations to height. This is for introduction. Alderman Grover. Have a second?
The question really is,
Go
what were
ahead.
the offensive signs?
I'm sorry?
What's an example of the signs that this is intended to address? And are
we
the
actu-
signs still up?
Yes, the sign is still up. If we could cue that up real quickly.
I know, sometimes it works, sometimes it
I feel like it was a setup.
Lights are not. Right, right. Actually, I actually ran out there myself. This is an example of it. So as the sign code reads right now, there is no height limitation for large vertical window signage such as this. Typically, signs, both freestanding and signs affixed to a facade, cannot be higher than 15 and a half feet. For whatever reason, when it comes to window signage, there is no limit. So this would limit these signs to 15 and a half feet from grade. They'd also have a certain percentage they could cover. It also addresses in situations not particularly like this, because this is a large vertical window sign covering a stairwell, but in multi-story buildings, then if there were multiple tenants on the second floor and the third floor, they could still have signage, but it could only be so large. I believe it's about 6 square feet or 20% of the window area. And then the one exception to that rule is on tall buildings, which are defined as 6 stories or higher. If those buildings are occupied by solely one tenant from the second floor through the top floor, then they can still have signage at the top of those buildings.
Any other questions? Alderman Wilson?
Okay, it is for introduction, so I'll just use the next, the gap period of time to think it over. I'm just thinking about the possibility of having some sort of exception built into it, or some sort of process where if it made sense to do that, that doesn't necessarily make sense, but other things might make sense. When we're just doing a blanket rule, I want to think about it carefully. So I'll vote for introduction and then think it over, and if there are any questions or suggestions, I'll have them before the next meeting.
And if I could just add that if you were a building that was trying to lease out or trying to advertise space, there are certain types of signage that you can get on 30-day renewal periods that would allow you to exceed these percentages, but that they wouldn't be, just an indefinite period of time. I'm not sure if that's what you're speaking to, but there are different types of exceptions. You also can do a United Business Center signage plan, similar. We just had one for Evanston Plaza, where you do a sign package for the entire development that allows you to exceed percentages in height, because it's similar to a PD. It gives you the flexibility to exceed certain standards as you would in a zoning district.
Okay.
Alderman Grover and then Alderman Fisk.
And does the Sign Review and Appeals Board have some discretion, too, to work within the requirements
They do.
of the sign ordinance so that there could be exceptions to this amendment? as well?
Right, and they subsequently can appeal to this committee.
Okay, Alderman Fisk?
That was my point, is there is a built-in appeal process.
Okay. It's been moved and second to introduce this. All in favor? Any opposed? No items for discussion? No communication, Mr. Munzer?
I would just say, I think you all saw the email. We're very excited that we have a new neighborhood and land use planner on staff, Megan Jones, who's been with the city for, I believe, last 3 to 4 years, and we are very excited to have her on the community development team.
Absolutely. Yes, we did see the email. Thank you. Okay, that concludes our agenda, and that will adjourn our meeting, and City Council should start in the next